Welcome to The Green Pretenders,
a sustainably challenged podcast.
This is my friend Sean.
And that is my friend Simon. And this episode, we're going to be talking about zero waste as a concept. Hashtag zero waste.
It's quite a popular concept, no?
Yeah, I think it's quite trendy,
it's
isn't
trending
it?
on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, my main experience of zero waste, I think, is what I've seen other people doing. So I've seen bloggers and vloggers and influencers online living zero waste lives and documenting how they're doing it. So I think that's what it says to me. When I hear the phrase zero waste, I immediately think of those people and those influencers. What's your take?
You know, I just actually woke up one day and I was like, what is all this waste around me? No, actually I saw those bloggers and I was like, they look woke. I want to be like them. And then I just went on a journey. Kind of, that's it. She laughs, but that's kind of it. I just got very interested in the zero waste movement. I watched a lot of videos and then sort of tried to change a few things in my life. And I like to make things myself.
So basically what's happened here is I've said, I see some people online, and however sarcastically you said it, you said that you're making some really good choices to be better. So I look like a dick. So do you think that you are kind of aspiring towards living a zero waste life in the way that I've seen it on these blogs, for example?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think I haven't ever made it my mission, or, you know, I haven't quite been as passionate as these people. But yeah, I think slowly I've started eliminating things in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I did see often is that there's an aim of having, say, at the end of each year, a tangible amount of waste to show that this was all that's left. So like a kiln jar's worth of things that just genuinely could not be dealt with in any other way. Do you have anything like that in mind? Are you kind of tracking the things that do have to be just thrown away or disposed of?
Not really. I mean, what I did do for a while, actually, and this is in true a green pretender nature, I did eco bricks for a while, and it was a massive fail.
Eco bricks.
Yes. So I think we need to explain what an eco brick is here.
Yes, please.
It's basically you take a plastic bottle, which is normally recyclable, but you stuff it with that flimsy plastic that can't be recycled to like a set density, so it has to be quite dense, so it can actually be used as a building block. Hence, eco brick.
Okay, and so that ties in with zero waste because it utilises the things that usually would have to be thrown out, right? Like crisp packets?
Cribs.
Cribs
packets and any sort of plastic wrapping, like the nets that onions come in.
Yeah.
Really annoying stuff.
Old bits of cling film.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
So in an ideal world, you could have taken that, made some eco bricks, and then they'd be used in construction. Exactly,
yeah. But what I struggled with was that there's no one actually taking those eco bricks. There is an eco brick community, but the community kind of failed me. I did email some people. It's quite sad. Yeah.
In London?
In the UK, yeah, in London and elsewhere. And no one replied. So eventually I moved, had to get rid of them. It was a bit sad.
I wonder why they didn't reply. Do you think it's a lack of demand or a lack of interest in this thing?
I think so, yeah. For now, I think they're used in like playgrounds and stuff, which is great. But, you know, how many playgrounds do we actually build where we then integrate, you know, it's a certain aesthetic as well.
Yeah, and I guess it means that a lot of different creative minds need to be part of something from the beginning.
Yeah.
An architect needs to be on board with whoever is creating or distributing eco bricks from the start. I'm imagining it would be cool in, as you say, like a playground or public art or a bench in a park, for example. Because do they just literally look like a plastic bottle, like a Coke bottle stuffed full of bits of plastic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, go and Google and Google EcoBrick and you'll see what they look like, and they can look right cool.
But in this case, it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. I learned a lot. you know, and that sort of gave me an idea of how much plastic was actually entering my life.
Yeah. So these people that I've seen with their blogs and their little kiln jars of waste at the end of each month or whatever, do you think they are eco-bricking their plastic, or do you think they have worked out ways to not bring that plastic into their life in the first place?
I think it's the latter.
Okay.
They've sort of streamlined their lifestyle towards the goal of just not creating and bringing in any plastic. That involves things like shopping at zero waste shops, where you shop in bulk and you bring your own jar.
Get bulk lentils and rice and things like that.
Yes.
Rather
exactly.
than buying new packets from a supermarket each week.
Yes.
Do you shop like that?
No, I don't actually. I don't shop like that.
It feels like I actually have never seen one in London. I've never walked past one. And I have in Bristol. I've heard that Bristol's really good in terms of those shops being quite readily available. But I must admit that I haven't used any in London, and I haven't even sought them out, which is naughty.
There was a time when I did actually look into it, and I could only find one pop-up store in Hackney. I think there are, or I know there are a few in London, but I don't personally actually shop at these stores, and I feel naughty as well. And I feel like maybe that is something like another pledge that I could take.
There's things though, aren't there? There's pitfalls because, for example, if the nearest one is a long bus ride away rather than a short walk away, is there a world in which the travel and the CO2 emissions of that journey don't actually do any good compared to maybe going into Tesco and making sure that you're buying something with recyclable packaging?
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
They are more expensive, these shops, as well. So there's the journey time and the journey carbon footprint, if that's something that bothers you, and the cost, which is a luxury.
Yeah.
And it is something that I noticed about these people, that in their blogs and their vlogs, they're often very wealthy people and they're not really having to worry about the financial impact that this lifestyle is having on them.
Yes.
So they can go to the farmers markets, they can take long detours to wander around the city to find on foot maybe the most environmentally, euphoric solution to everything. But for some people, the money and the time do not allow that.
Yeah. And time is such a big factor as well. Like if you're a single mum with like 5 children, you don't think about zero waste. But I think there are ways that single mum can also think about it. I think it should be accessible to all people. And there are small things that everyone can do.
You were saying earlier that you like making things. What are some examples of things that you've made that have contributed towards your zero waste aspirations?
So I think it started with toothpaste. Yes, toothpaste packaging. It's non-recyclable plastic. Because of the toothpaste that is stuck in there, you need to wash it out. Very often also that there are different kinds of plastic. So I make my toothpaste out of coconut oil, bicarbonate soda, and mint oil. And I bought a 5 kilo pot of bicarbonate soda. And I mean, that will last me for a long, long time. And I don't know, bicarbonate of soda, honestly guys, make a note, because it's the thing in your make your own sort of toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo. You always need bicarbonate of soda, so it actually makes so much sense to buy that.
In bulk?
In bulk.
So what's the process? You've got your bicarbonate of soda, your coconut oil and your mint oil.
Yes.
What do you do? What's the measurements and how do you mix it up?
So I think it's 2 scoops of coconut oil, and then you sort of mix it with bicarbonate of soda until you have like a good paste. Because coconut oil actually, it goes very hard when it gets cold, and it goes very liquidy when it gets warm. So you need a good sort of texture so that it can, it's either way, whether it's the summer or the winter, you can scoop it out.
And it's nice and minty fresh.
Yes, it's minty fresh.
Which is great, because I did see a girl on the internet brush her teeth with a homemade concoction which didn't have any flavour, and she had her friend try it, and her friend said that it was like brushing her teeth with the contents of an ashtray. So I wasn't sold on that, but if you're telling me that it still has that minty freshness, I'm in.
I'll bring you a little jar next time.
Yeah.
And you can try it. And if you like it, then,
Get on board.
Get on board.
And you said that bicarbonate of soda is a really useful, common ingredient in all of the other things. So do you also make your own deodorant, shampoo, and the other things?
Yes. So I think went on to shampoo because I actually went no poo for a while. And this sounds so weird.
Do you need to see a doctor? Do I need to get you some laxatives?
I haven't pooed in a year.
That's quite an issue and too much information.
Guys, this is not healthy. This is not what no poo is about.
What is it about then?
It is about not washing your hair with shampoo.
No poo.
No poo.
That's as if the part of the word that is sham means something.
Yes, it's a
sham. Do
sham.
you use shampoo or no poo?
Exactly.
But actually okay, fine, I'll bite.
So
you went no poo.
I went no poo.
Did your hair self-clean? I've heard that it's
yes,
meant to do that.
So I'd like to think it did, but I also do think in reality that it was just always a little bit greasy.
I didn't want to say anything.
It was dripping.
But I did often wonder if you were emerging from a swimming pool when we met. No, I'm kidding. Your hair's always looked lustrous and wonderful. So if at any point you were going no poo, I can't say I noticed.
I was actually for quite a while.
Great.
I think almost a year. But it doesn't work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually also watched a lot of videos online about no poo, and a lot of people said the same thing, that it just didn't last forever, and eventually they just wanted to go back to having like nice, freshly washed hair. So then I did some more research, and you can just take a spoonful of bicarbonate soda, 3 spoons of water, and I personally love a good scent. I love some essential oils.
What's your signature scent?
So currently my signature scent is, I think, lemon.
Nice.
Yeah, lemon oil, because it gives you that fresh sort of smell.
Mm-hmm.
But I've experimented with eucalyptus. Lavender is really lovely as well, especially if you wash your hair in the evening. Lavender is really nice, so you sleep better.
And does it lather like shampoo would usually?
Do you know what? It kind of does.
Okay.
That's what I love about bicarbonate soda. It works really well. I mean, if you have super dry hair, you can also use a conditioner, which is basically just vinegar.
Vinegar?
Yes, apple cider vinegar is a great conditioner, and I kid you not, your hair will be so silky. Like, it's insane.
What?
It's so silky when you...
Apple cider vinegar is also very good for your digestive system and your insides. Yes. So you could just sort of, be in the shower, a bit for my hair and a little bit for me. Just have a sip or chew on your hair. You've got 2 problems solved in one. It's miraculous, really.
It's miraculous.
Okay, but so the shampoo alone might not be great for people with dry hair.
You have to experiment.
Because I was using shampoo bars for a while and my hair started breaking. I did look into some different variations, but a lot of them needed to be bought online. And again, I did that weighing up of, is it good to get something shipped from a long way away? So I'm thinking about buying traditional shampoo again, honestly, because I look at the bottles in Boots and I think, if I try and just use it really sparingly, for the sake of my hair, I don't know, I'm going through a phase of hypocrisy. But before I resort to that, I will try the apple cider vinegar with the shampoo bar, or better yet, my homemade one, and keep up with the zero packaging shampoo.
Yes.
Okay. And then lastly, you said deodorant.
Deodorant, exactly. And that is a very recent thing. I've only done this for like 2 weeks, and I was very skeptical about this because I was like, I can't believe, because also the base is also coconut oil, bicarbonate soda. There's also cornstarch in there and essential oils. And I was like, I don't want to have greasy armpits.
No.
I was just like imagining that would then go onto my clothes and, mess them up. And I'd perpetually have sweat stains, which is like a nightmare. So I can't, so for now, it's been quite good.
Has it?
It's been good, yeah.
Antiperspirant stops you sweating and deodorant just stops you smelling, right? So what does the homemade concoction do over those categories?
I think it's more of an anti-smell, so
Okay.
it just leaves that smell of. I currently have a Christmas edition, a winter edition. It's cinnamon and orange. It smells really nice actually, but yeah, you can obviously use lavender, whatever, mint. I imagine like mint in the summer will be really nice because it cools you down even a little bit. Yeah.
And what's the application process like for that? Is it about just getting a bit on your hand and
Just
rubbing it in your pits?
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Getting
get
a
up and
bit-
close and personal with your pits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in those pits.
Well, I look forward to seeing as this is the newest one for you.
This is the newest one. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll get an update. So they're such good examples, and you are such a saint of ways that you've just embraced very everyday and easy things. Like, it would be cool to see a table piled up of all of the deodorant, shampoo and toothpaste containers that you personally would have used and haven't used, just to see the wealth of materials that you've saved by doing this DIY.
Yeah.
And it sounds like bicarbonate of soda is the king.
It is the king, yeah, and I'm so glad I bought it in bulk.
How big are we talking? Like a big barrel?
No, not a barrel, but like one of those at the kebab shop, the ketchup thingies where they have like loads of ketchup in, or mayo or yogurt, the huge ones.
Yes, that's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah, and it's I actually transfer it into like a smaller jar, so I have it readily available because otherwise I'd have to take it out of the have it in a cupboard.
You've got a system.
I have, but that's the thing. That's the thing about zero waste. You devise a system, and it's actually quite fun.
It's like your own production line at home.
Yeah.
And that does sound fun once you've formed those habits and stuck to them and got your system going. I like the sound of that a lot.
Yeah.
I am really interested in the things that cannot be reused, recycled, reduced. Like crisp packets, I mean, we can do without crisps, fine. But there's things like floss for your teeth.
Yeah.
Anything that you can't get completely clean, which is one of the reasons why the toothpaste containers are such a pain in the ass, isn't it? And like cotton wool, there's just these random things that for some people they wouldn't imagine being able to cut out of their lives, but they have to be thrown away.
But cotton wool is actually a good point because it is biodegradable. So if it's pure cotton wool, it is biodegradable. And the last one was reduce, reuse, recycle, rot. So if something can rot, then that's fine and you can use it. The only thing is, in those like cotton pads, there's actual plastic in there. And I find that so unnecessary and it kind of upsetting because I'm like, what is that plastic doing in there? Does it add anything? Like maybe it's cheaper to put a bit of plastic in there as well as cotton. So I think it's also looking at products that we buy and see if there is an option that has less waste, and very often that waste is plastic.
Yeah, I recently bought some pads which actually are meant for women who are nursing to put inside their bra to stop leaking when they're nursing, right? But I'm using them as makeup removers because they are cotton pads, but they're just material that you would reuse and put in the wash. And this was just a product that came up and I was like, yes, purchase, thank you very much. And it wasn't until it arrived that I opened up the instructions and it was like, place them inside your bra. And I was like, these aren't what I thought they were. But fucking great because they serve the purpose.
Absolutely,
all the same.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I think a lot of the zero waste movement is actually very creative, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, finding interesting solutions. Don't just look for something and if it's not out there to buy, give up. Think, well, is there another thing that I could repurpose?
Yeah.
To suit this purpose. One other thing that is so everyday that I wonder how the zero wasters do it is receipts.
Yes, receipts are such a bad one. It's such a bad one. Again, sorry, Sainsbury's competition out there, but Sainsbury's asks you if you want a receipt. And actually a lot of the supermarkets do nowadays.
Yes.
However, sometimes you need a receipt. Like I'm a freelancer and I do my own taxes, so I need receipts.
Yeah. So immediately for me, that's like a pure zero waste lifestyle isn't achievable in the world that we live in today with the structure of the world as it is today, because my mind goes, well, what about sellotape? What about receipts? Like, just your mind goes crazy because you've been told that it has to be a zero waste thing. It sounds so absolute. But much more admirably what you're doing. Instead of just running scared from it, you're saying, well, here are the things I can and will do, working towards a goal. And I think that's great.
What I would like everyone to try is look at the things you do every day, the products you use, and then see if there are alternatives that maybe don't contain plastics, that can be biodegradable. And then it's about slow changes. One day at a time, one toothbrush at a time.
And the good thing is that even though we've started this early episode with such a broad-ranging topic, from now on we're going to be taking things in bite-sized chunks. So hopefully there'll be something that you're sitting there thinking, well, obviously I couldn't eradicate that from my life. Maybe we'll cover it in a future episode. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to break things down a bit more. I think the winner of today's episode is bicarbonate of soda.
Yes.
And I think bicarbonate of soda would be my eco whoop of the week, were it not for the fact that I have already got one.
Yeah.
And it does actually tie in really well. My eco whoop this week is upcycling in a crafty way.
Woohoo!
Which is basically just what you've been saying. Like, find solutions, be creative, upcycle. So if there's something that I can do to turn something that would have had to have been thrown out into something pretty or useful through crafts, I am there for it. And recently, my partner, his family found his baby shoes in the loft.
Oh.
And they were these lovely leather little booties. And I've put cactuses in them.
Yay!
So I gave them a scrub up and bought some tiny little cactus plants and filled the shoes with soil, and they're just there as kind of little makeshift vases. So it's not really like a massive win in the sustainability stakes, but it was a fun upcycling thing, and it got my mind thinking about, you look around, see what materials you've got. I love cactuses. I didn't need to go out and buy a pot. I had a pot waiting there for me in the form of my partner's tiny shoes. So I've kind of saved a purchase, and they look cute, and his mum's really happy that they've been given a new lease of life.
Yeah.
So that's that eco whoop.
My eco whoop, sustainable sponges for washing up.
Oh.
So I personally have branded them as Scratchies, and I will sell them as Scratchies. No, I won't. But Scratchies. Yeah. The sponges that you wash up with.
Yeah.
And
you call them Scratchies.
Them Scratchies. Well, because those eco ones are like quite scratchy. They're made of like a plant fiber, and they come really, really flat. And then you put them under water, and then they expand, and then they get spongy. And I love them, and I will never go back to normal sponges that basically go into landfill.
So these ones that you've got will just disintegrate on their own and be biodegradable.
They're biodegradable.
Whereas your average sponge you just kind of have to throw out once they get gross enough.
Yeah.
Great, that's a lovely one. What's your eco poop?
Washing up liquid.
Aha.
And I'm talking about the regular washing up liquid, like, some sort of flying magical creature might be called.
Fairy. He's talking about fairy.
But, all the other ones as well. They are actually harmful to aquatic life. It says on the back, this stuff is harmful to aquatic life. And I think that's just wrong. And I think we should just stop that. Like, what? This is going into the oceans. This is going down the drain. And
such a commonplace item as well. Like, that's not just every now and then you clean something with a product that may or may not be harmful. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of families and homes up and down the country using this product every day.
Every single
down
day.
The sink, and it's harmful to aquatic life.
Yeah.
That is mental.
It is mental, and there are alternatives. eCover, for example, does a washing up liquid. But I think all the companies should just bring out an eco alternative.
Yeah, obviously, if it's possible for some to have provided one, then why on earth do the big brands need to make theirs with harmful ingredients? As you say, they just need to shape up.
Yeah, and that's a classic eco poop.
Okay, such a classic. Mine is also a bit of a classic. It's one of the things at the moment that is really risking me entering into Twitter spats with complete strangers, which, as we all know, is something that no one should ever do. No good comes of fighting with a stranger on Twitter. But when I see people mindlessly having a go at Greta Thunberg, I get really irate. And it's like, I just can't. People have every manner of issue with her. Like, oh, but her plaits. And I don't like her angry face. Is she really on that boat? Or is she? It's like, shut up. She is a child doing everything she can to save the planet. So that's my massive eco poop. Is any kind of arbitrary anti-Greta feelings. I get it if people want to sort of pick apart the science of what she's saying, if they feel like there's some genuine mistakes there, or if they feel like she's really legitimately not going about this in the right way, fine. But people just sitting on the internet abusing a young child for trying to save the world is crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy. I jump on that train, and I just say, she has no bad agenda.
So, if you'd like to get in touch with us to either tell us to stop being so dramatic about the Greta Thunberg thing and get over it, or to join our train of Greta Thunberg support, then you can do that in many ways. You can
find us on Twitter
at Green Pretenders,
on Instagram
at Green Pretenders,
on Facebook
at Green Pretenders,
or write us an email,
thegreenpretenders@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you.
That's it for this episode. We hope our zero waste chit chat and waffle has been at least interesting. And remember, the pod is always greener.
Pretender.